Hey everybody, welcome to Sharded. We are an Argent Saga podcast. My name is Mike.
And I'm Andrew, and today we're talking about need more shinies. Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Sharded. So today we're talking about our addiction to complete our sets because we all need as much shiny as possible, right?
God, I love those foils.
Doesn't matter that I can't read the foils. No. I still need those foils.
That's what the internet is for, my friend.
So actually what inspired this particular discussion that we're doing today was one of our viewers, and thank you very much for starting that conversation based on the first episode. He actually gave us a feedback, and he said, actually, based on, because we were talking about how really we thought all the money was going to be in the Argent rares.
Yeah.
And he actually pointed out that the super rares, actually, because you need 3 of them, right, and there's only 7 per box, were actually where he thought the money was going to be. So, spoiler alert, that's actually false. However, I think it's only false right now.
Sure.
I think he's right in the long term.
Yes.
So what I'm showing up right now, I'm just going to splash it up and covering our beautiful faces, so I'm sorry.
All
So
right.
what I've broke down is the number of boxes to a full playset, right? So this is going under the assumption, there's 2 assumptions here, right? The first assumption is, 1, you actually give anything about getting a full playset.
Correct, right?
Right, and you're not going for one color, which is, I think, what most of us are doing right now is trying to, in the casual world, we are trying to build our one deck.
In our local meta of 5.
Well,
that is what's happening, for sure.
But I again, to the people who we're speaking to as being a casual cast, right, the majority of us are trying to get a deck together before we get 5 decks together. Right. Now, meanwhile, you're probably not trading away your other shinies because you need shinies and all that, right? But so what I broke down here is just the math, right? So we all know there's 2 Argent rares per box, and there are 13 in set, which that is a retraction we had last time. Last time we said there were 12, and that was a mistake, so there are 13. So obviously you can only pay 1 in your deck, so your number to full play set is 13.
Right.
So that breaks down to 6.7 boxes, which means that you need to buy 7 boxes, assuming a full distribution, right?
And get lucky to get, or trade away, but
yes, right. And that was what we'd kind of said last time, was like, let's assume like we have a 8-man play group and everybody gets together and we all have a handshake deal and throw out the value of the rares. We all want to walk away with what it is, right?
Okay.
So you're basically making, for those who play other games, a Saga set or...
So I need 7 boxes.
You need 7 boxes per person to get a full set of Argent rares.
My wife is going to kill me.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, keep going.
So for the super rares, though, and this is exactly what that viewer was 100% correct on, you actually need 8 boxes to get a full play set of super rares because there are 18 super rares in the set, and you need 3 of them apiece to get a full play set, which means that you need 54 of them. And since there's only 7 per box, you need 8 boxes, 7.7 boxes, so you need to buy 8 boxes, right? Because remember, you can buy a partial box, but we're going on the distribution thing, so you need to buy a box, right?
So now I need 8 boxes.
You do need 8 boxes. That's what you need to buy. And not only you need to buy it, you need to get your full play set of enough people to statistically round it all out, right?
Do you have room on your couch where I can sleep here after my wife finds out I bought 8 boxes?
Well, yeah, but I don't have room for you and the 9 other guys that you got to do it to round it out.
That's a different podcast, by the way.
Right, again. But yeah. That's the Andrew's Home's a Hostile podcast. Anyway, so going on the rares, that goes down to 5 boxes. That one should be achievable once Mike opens his 8. He should at least have enough trade stock to get there.
Yes, okay.
And then, so this one is a good thing and a bad thing. So I've taken it down at this point, right? Yeah. And maybe I'll flash back up. Depends on how it goes in the editing. But for commons, there are 60 commons in the set. And by the way, shout out again to Argent DB. You are doing amazing work. However, you are missing one of the commons in your DB right now.
We have verified that.
It is, yes, I did. It's the Argent Watcher is missing. I caught it today, right? Because I actually didn't even know the Argent Watcher existed.
Yeah, that's the one that's the one that he has like a spyglass, right?
So he's missing in your DB, and maybe he's not missing in your DB, but he's not classified as a common when you do the filter.
Okay,
right,
fair enough.
So anyway, so that aside, there are 60 commons in the set, right? You need 3 of them, 180, and there's actually 184 per box. So you need to buy actually less than a box. So you need to buy just 1 box. So you should get a full play set, or at least have trade stock there. So I don't know about you, but when I opened my box, which was earlier today, I actually got a full play set, which kind of bothers me because that really shouldn't happen. Like, if everything's truly random, like, that shouldn't happen. Like, I should have had some 2s, I should have had some 5s, right?
What if it's not random?
If it's pseudo-random?
What if it's not random? What if there is what if purposely...
But if we're playing in a non-random world, why the hell am I buying booster boxes and not just an LCG set?
Because money?
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, because money.
Yeah, I mean, like...
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, you're 100% on there. Like, I don't know. I just, that bothered me. And it actually leads me to my hot take conclusion is that for those of us who are casual players and are looking to build decks instead of filling out a collection, I actually think that you only need to buy one box. And the reason I come to that is I was looking on TCG Player yesterday for some of the red rares and just getting a price. And some of those red rares and super rares are only like $1 to $2. Actually, some of the rares are less than $1.
Yeah.
It doesn't right now economically pan out to buy 8 boxes to try to fill out your set.
Yeah, because what you're hoping for is that you get a $4 rare or better out of each pack. Right. Like in order to recoup
$4 and
there aren't a lot of $4 cards.
Let's assume that everyone's not buying at MSRP. Let's assume they're buying at MAP, which you said is 68, right? 65, 68, right? So let's assume you're buying there. So okay, $3 a pack.
Sure.
Right?
And I find that a lot of the super rares are about $3. The rares or the super rares are about $3 is what I'm finding. Like,
but how are you recouping your, like, unless you're someone who's buying from a distributor at $30 a box, you're not recouping your cost because you're only getting 7 super rares. So let's assume all your super rares are $3. That's $21.
And I will tell you, you're not getting it from a distributor for $35.
Okay, well, whatever.
Right, yeah,
but I'm just
correct,
saying.
Yes.
Throw out the 35 part.
But as a
someone buying it for $65 to $68, let's just say $70 to make the math easy. You'd have to sell your Argent rare, so you get 9 between the super rares and the Argent rares, right? You'd have to sell those on average for 7 and change.
And then that means you're not getting any. Like, I mean, that's what I'm saying,
like, and that means that you're left with now your next playset of commons. Like, hooray, right?
Yeah. That's interesting.
I really don't think that right now in the current environment, based on what we're seeing, there is value to that. Now, the whole supply and demand thing should swing that, you would think. However, if it is, in fact, what I highly suspect, which is right now early, everybody's trying to just focus on one thing versus trying to fill out a collection, then maybe that will fill out later, except, however, later there's also more supply.
Right.
So
let's talk about, I want to talk about a card in particular that just as a, not a counter argument, but just a complementary argument with you. So there is a card, a green card, that is one of the super rare green cards, Sylphia, which is found in a lot of the most competitive decks. That is a super that is highly coveted, and they also I think
is that not a legendary?
It is an Argent rare.
It's an Argent rare,
and it runs about $25.
Okay, fair enough.
Right, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, and again, in my argument, I'm not accounting for the fact that, like, if you're buying 8 boxes, you're probably going to get a stamped card.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Right. So, and I've seen those going on eBay for 80 to 100.
Unless you're Derek, you only have to buy 1 box.
Well,
Right.
I mean,
then you get a Twilight Knight and a stamped card, and I hate your face
in the same box. Yeah. Right.
God.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know, but I like I'm saying, for the casual player who's not going to go out and buy 8 boxes without sleeping on his buddy's couch,
right.
I think the right move is to, at least right now, I think the right move is to buy 1 box and single it out. Right?
Economically, the math totally adds up.
Right.
And
that's not saying that you won't buy your box and get the $100 card and pay for everything.
Right.
Like, it could happen.
It could happen, absolutely.
But I'm just saying, I've never been a gambler. Well, I have, actually, but I don't believe in gambling because...
Right. Well, yeah, you don't like to give people your money.
Right.
So, of our group, I'm the only one that bought all the starters because I bought the alpha starters.
You got them early.
Right. Yeah. So, but had I come in the game, I probably would have bought 1 or 2 starters, right, of varying colors, like everybody else did. If that was the case, knowing this mathematics, it would have been foolish for me to buy 3 boxes.
I think 2.
It was foolish for me to buy 3 boxes.
For you being really kind of the pioneer, I think 2 boxes was smart. And you've said you regretted buying your 3rd box.
Yeah, I wouldn't have regretted it had it had a silver watchwoman But I was chasing the dragon.
Had you got your Twilight Knight and exactly.
I mean, that's what I was going for,
and that's why I did that on the way in.
Yeah.
Right? So anyway, I mean, you have to do what feels right for you, right? If you are the person who needs to collect everything, like heaven forbid you are, because you're going to have a rough time in this game trying to get all the stamped cards.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't even think that's achievable. Like, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sure someone out there's buying them. So
yeah, if you're willing to pay aftermarket. So okay, so we're on the discussion of foils, right? So we've talked about probability of foils, and as a public service to new players, because that's what we're doing. We're talking about casuals. I'm with Andrew. Buy box. You can play this game perfectly well with a single box and a starter.
Unless you got my box that I opened today.
Unless you got Andrew's box. The best scenario is that what you said, where you have 4 buddies or 3 buddies, and you all buy a box, you all buy a starter, and then you co-op the cards, right, together. That's the ultimate way to play this game, because this is a good game. This is a good game where the commons are good.
The commons, like the intro decks are good.
Yes, the common, like I've never even seen a game like that before, where the commons are actually really good. So if you buy a box and your 3 buddies buy a box, and then you guys all co-op the stuff, you will have a perfectly good time. Not only that, you could probably go to a local and do okay. Like, I mean,
to a local, because your local is your buddies,
right?
But
I mean, so that to me, I think, is a strength.
No, it is of the early game.
Of the early game. Yes.
Of a young game.
Correct.
Right.
So that I think that's a good thing. So that's your public service announcement for the day: is to buy a box or 2, unless you're on a team that you're going to go to nationals and you're playing for money. Then you're going to do what you're going to do, which is buy 8 boxes and get them all, because you got to have them all. So that's.
Well,
fine.
I mean, for those guys, I still think it's.
But they're not watching this.
Yeah. Well, true.
Right. I mean, we don't even know what we're talking about. So anyway, so. I want to continue talking
about... That's also the subtitle of our podcast.
We don't know what we're talking about. So I want to talk about foils a little bit more, and this is a negative followed by a positive.
Okay.
So the foils, some of the foils in this game are unreadable.
The white foils are unreadable.
Yeah, and when we say... I just for those of you who don't know me, I'm colorblind. I have a really hard time with colors.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
that's
so
fair.
We're talking about the Argent cards, correct? Are we talking about the Argent cards?
No, actually, I have less of a time with the Argent than the ones that are like
because the light.
So sorry, I forget the name. What is the Wrath of God white card? I cannot read that card. Like
You mean light? You mean light?
Light, yes.
Light.
Sorry.
Okay,
light.
The yellow suit.
They have a 4 cost. It's a Wrath of God. It destroys all
Finishing Ray.
Finishing Ray.
Right.
Is unreadable.
Yeah, I have one today. I posted something on Facebook today. I said I wouldn't even know how much that card cost to cast.
No, I couldn't see the number
for the
if
DB.
It wasn't for the DB.
Yeah,
yep.
like thumbs up for the DB. By the way, but again, go check out the Argent DB.
Yeah, and by the way, me telling you that you were missing a comment was not feedback. It was still praise. Like, you rock.
Yeah, you rock, dude. That we would be totally lost without you. So thank you. So there are some really, really bad foils in this game. So if you're new, and hopefully if you're watching this, you are fairly new. So it's not, you did not get a bad pack. They are bad. And that is a symptom of a very young game. And a game where the company was trying to listen to the feedback of the players. So this is where I'm going to switch to neutral, feedback here. They listened to they did a poll of what people wanted for foils, and what they did was all of them. They said, do you want Starburst foils? Do you want scratch foils? Do you want regular coat foils like in Magic, like where it's just a shiny sheen? And what they decided to do is to do all of them, one on each rarity. Anytime you add extra types of foiling, the chances of one of them being bad becomes higher.
Yeah, I would argue that 2 of them are bad, though. The Argent Rare one, I actually don't mind.
The Argent Rare, I think, the Sunburst is great.
Right.
I think it's great. It's the super rare. It's the super rare. The rares.
It's mostly the super rare,
Yeah.
but the rares I still think are bad on certain colors.
Yeah.
And under certain
the
lights.
brighter the color, it seems like the harder it is.
It was interesting, right? Because when you and I were playing our games and when we did our unboxing, I didn't have a problem with most of the cards, but when I was opening my boxes, when I was trying to do my deck underneath my kitchen lights, I couldn't read anything. Right. So, and like most game stores don't have mood lighting. Like they have like cheap fluorescent lighting. Right. So
yeah, like you just can't even. We were playing. It's funny. So we play at Super Play. right? We also do a cast for Star Wars Destiny.
It's probably better there.
Yeah, so interestingly enough,
dark.
It's so dark there. It's great for recording most of the time, right? Because there's not a lot of glare. And we actually had an easier time playing Argent Saga in that lighting.
Because you could actually read your cards.
Because you could read your cards. Yeah. But when I'm with you, when I go home, like if I'm in natural light, finishing ray is just... it's literally unreadable. Like, I don't even know. In a lot of those, you can kind of turn them a little bit and they become readable.
No, I can't with the white cards. I can with most of the others. I also, I got Iton today, Eton, I don't know.
Yeah, the green.
The green 2500,
yeah.
Right? I couldn't read him.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh,
anyway.
So, I want to go to the positive on that. Same topic. So, on the Argent Saga Facebook official TCG page today, I asked the question, hey, I heard that you guys are doing a new printing. It is Betrayal 2.0 and that you fixed the foiling. Can someone confirm or give me some details? The details were they kept the foiling the same, but they put the foiling behind the print. So
let's see how that works out.
And there are photos of this on their Facebook page. They posted them today. They look... like 100 times better. Like it's funny because I'm slightly salty that I have all of these cards.
Can you grab me one of those photos and I'll...
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So I'm a little salty that I have all of these cards now that are hard to play with.
Maybe they'll be worth more. Probably not. But maybe they'll be worth more.
Maybe in 20 years, if this game sticks around, they'll be worth something. But as far as playing, I kind of wish I had waited as a player. I wish I had kind of waited at 2.0 for those foils. But anyway,
but then you wouldn't have got your 5 box toppers.
That's that. Booyah! There you go. Yeah. So kudos to you, ARG, for realizing there's a problem and not doubling down, but actually fixing it.
Which I think goes into our overall larger kudos of ARG is like, thank you for actually being plugged into your game and giving feedback. So the one we did before, I actually had this really cool Elmo. We were talking about the Elmo meme, and I had the cool video, and for some reason it didn't come out. Right. So I'm going to try it again. Like, Elmo meme. Yeah. Like, that's what we got from our Star Wars Destiny overlords was...
Yeah. Oh, you don't like it?
And in this case, it's like, oh, let's listen to your... So first off, the feedback led them to the problem, and now they're going to use feedback to fix the problem.
Correct. Yeah.
That's not... a bad thing.
And I think as players in this new environment, we have to take the good, which is them feeding back. And also, there's going to be some times when you have an idea that you think is good, and I feel like this company would be like, no, that's dumb. Like, at the same time. And I think we have to be okay with that.
As long as they give you a reason why.
Yeah. I mean, but so I have never been part of a game where I felt like I could, on a daily basis, work with the people who are making the game, and that they were actually interested in me playing the game. Like that's the vibe I get. Like we play another game where they give me a box of dice and cards, and I feel like they don't really want to hear from me again. Like, sorry, that's how I feel sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so kudos you, ARG, good job on that one.
No, I mean seriously, thank you.
Your foils look like crap, but 2.0 looks great.
I mean, honestly, they don't. Like, they are beautiful under the right lights. It's just that most lights are not. All right, last one I have, and then we're going to get out of here, right? I have a question for you. Why in the heck do I pull a shard in my 10th pack, or my 10th card slot?
So let's be honest with ourselves here. You do not get 10 cards in a pack of Argent Saga. You get 9. And the 10th slot is either...
Is a surprise.
Is a surprise. If it's awesome, you get shard points, right? For redeeming socks and... Moscow Mule Cups.
Moscow Mule Cups. Right. So actually, we were looking through that. So last time, Mike and I talked about these Star Wars posters behind. Yeah. What we want those big cards. Yes. So if you don't like looking at Star Wars stuff, send us your shard points.
Yeah, we will take your shard points.
Take your shard points, and we will convert them not into packs for ourselves, but we will convert them into large cards on the wall. Yeah. Which will be super sexy. Yeah, super sexy. ARG, if you're listening, we will also take large cards.
Right. Yes. So that's absolutely. I think that's one of the better parts of this game.
Anyway, where I was going with that, I would like to. So I didn't realize until I texted you and I was like, "Hey, do you want to trade tokens?" And you're like, bro, it's only the night tokens.
Only the night tokens. Yeah.
Why are there not tokens in that slot instead of shards?
The shards are just because my whole thing was, well, maybe I want to make 4 decks, but you said it yourself. Well, you have to have the
you have to buy the intro set.
The intro set,
you have to buy it
to get the Champion of the Spirit. So why are they including a shard in every one? Maybe somebody can answer that for me. That I don't understand because that
viewer question.
Yeah. Why do I get a shards
in our packs?
Right. And why do you put I get 10 Argent Sword cards when I really get 9 in a
well, that's fine. I mean, that's fine. Magic does the same thing where they say 15 and one's like a token or a checklist or something. That's an industry standard. Yeah. That's not to be held against them at all, right? But the fact that it's a completely... Like, you may as well just not give me a card. Like, I'd rather just not have to throw something in the trash and feel bad about it. Right? Anyway.
So that's a good question. So that's a viewer question. Why is there a shard?
Yeah. Now, I mean, it could be, and spoiler alert for our next episode, maybe it has something to do with draft.
Ooh.
So... If you like what we're doing here on Sharded, a casual Argent Saga cast, please give us that like, subscribe, and if nothing else, go Commando.
Go Commando.